So someone left a comment on one of my old In-Worlds documentary videos, and I was just remembering how fun it was, so I thought, hey, I think I'm gonna make another one of those videos, only this time it's gonna be in Second Life. And with the In-Worlds documentary, I was trying to be systematic and to be fair, rather than to cherry pick sims. I was just gonna do them all in order. That turned out to be kind of impractical due to the quantity and the inconsistency. But I'm going to do something a little bit different this time with Second Life. I'm just going to pick a random sim, and if it looks interesting, I'm going to go there. Do a little documentary type thing. So here we are down in this quadrant here, and I'm just going to take a look. That seems kind of intriguing, mainly because you can't see anything. Buttercup Isle. Let's see if I can even go there. Sometimes people lock down their sims and you can't even teleport there, so no idea if that's going to be the case. That looks like I'm able to go there. Okay, interesting. So we got some birds chirping, and it's some kind of automated estate manager, which I probably should have realized from the Isle title and Buttercup and all that. It just kind of seems like one of those sims that people set up just to make money. And looks like there's nothing at all here. It's just a little island. There must be a mega prim way up there in space, a yellow mega prim that caused that map artifacting. You can see how this is all yellow. It's probably just a mega prim, that's why it looks that way. So Buttercup Isle turned out to be really boring, and this is the shortest documentary I've ever made. Only not at all, because we're gonna go to another sim that's far more interesting, hopefully. Bananna, I'm having trouble saying this because of the two N's. Bananna Haven. So this looks cool. This looks like some kind of Arctic sim. Two people there. Interesting. We can go there. So a lot of times, a lot of times when you go to a sim, they will have a landing point built in. So even if you picked a specific spot on the sim, it will send you to a specific location, and that's what it did here. So this is the landing point. That's a way for the sim authors to kind of control where their visitors land. This looks pretty cool. Definitely, as I said before, a wintry kind of theme, which is really easy to see from the map view because of the sort of monochromatic or wintry tones of the thumbnail. So we got a nice little snowflake motif here. It's kind of funny that it's called Banana Haven when it's a winter sim. You know, bananas, they're kind of tropical. You don't really think of winter when you see a banana, but you know, kind of cool. Bananas are my favorite fruit, so I sort of have a bias for anything banana-y. So this is kind of cool. It's a staircase that is also a waterfall, which apparently is phantom, and you can just walk right through. Looks like they have some cool northern lights effects going on up there, and a snowflake particle generator. That's a nice touch. So yeah, one of my methods for doing these documentaries in the past was to zoom out and see if I could get sort of an aerial view of the whole sim. So it looks like the developed land is actually fairly small. Those are really nice Northern Lights effects. Those are fairly believable and really beautiful too. Good job on those. Probably a texture moving on a sculpt or a particle effect. Hard to say. That looks like the sim owner has a little workshop up here in the sky. So yeah, as I was saying, it kind of seems like a huge chunk of the sim is undeveloped land, mainly just terraformed mountains. That would be this region up here, with the majority of the I take that back. Apparently the whole sim is developed in this area, just in resin until now. One thing I think I have to point out here, which is really impressive compared to the documentaries I made in the past, and especially in InWorlds, is how fast everything loaded. And I'm only getting 11 frames per second, but that's still pretty impressive, I would say, given the quantity of sculpts and prims and probably a few mesh objects that have loaded. So this is probably one of the most typical sites you will see on any sim, and I think, to be honest, it's kind of a nice touch and a testament to the mentalities of the kind of people who create sims, or these little like meditation, relaxation, chill spots, which are just really nice little environmental things to yeah, that looks good. I like that. To just kind of chill out and relax in. And I mean, in a way it's kind of silly because you're in a virtual world, and does your avatar really need to like chill out? But at the same time, it's kind of vicariously relaxing just to see your avatar sitting in one of these little gazebos. And of course, if you're socializing and a whole bunch of people are hanging out in one of these areas, it's kind of a nice touch, nice little emotional impact there. Yeah, so as far as winter themed sims go, I'd say this one is pretty well done. I mean, these little winter chateaus with their romantic fireplaces and bubble baths and champagne dispensers. So they're all pretty par for the course. I mean, this is the kind of place you wouldn't mind going to, a resort, and hanging out in real life, because it's romantic and nice. So just gonna walk around here and see how things look from the first person perspective. I got a little merry-go-round thing going on here. Doesn't really look very comfortable, but I think it's more for a visual effect than for actual sitting upon. So the first thing that I'm kind of noticing that is the highlight of the sim, at least for me, is the landscaping. I just think the artists did a really fantastic job on these like little pathways and little like picturesque diorama areas. Oh, that's nice with the little rays of light coming down. Little fireplace zone. The soundscape is really excellent too. Like, I'm just, as I'm moving around to the various zones and like hearing these different sounds, like the crackling fires and the waterfall and all that. It's kind of very atmospheric and kind of draws you into the environment. in an effective way. So it looks like we have some kind of church, maybe? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, yeah, that's a thing I don't really like when it's not cool. When music autoplays, you can turn that off in your settings. I'm actually gonna try to get out of this area because I don't want to have to deal with the auto playing media, and I don't really want to have to turn that off either, just for the sake of a single demo. Now the sim owner has elected to turn off flying, which to me is kind of annoying because I like to be able to fly around to navigate. I mean, in reality, of course, when you're touring a sim, you don't really need to fly. Your avatar doesn't even need to be there. You just need to turn up your draw distance and chill in a secure location, and then you can basically use the camera controls to see wherever you wanna go. But I like doing the first person thing. I think it's kind of just, it's more immersive and interesting. I'm a real sucker for these like duck and swan things. I mean, they're really minimal, but it's cool. You can even feed them. I just think it's a really effective and aesthetically pleasing sort of thing. Very simple, elegant. So we've got another gazebo over here. I mean, it's kind of funny in a way. These sims are so modular. They're like basically just a bunch of little points of interest that are all essentially the same, like little quaint, secure feeling safe zones, you know, that you can just sort of chill out and relax in. Now, while I was commenting about how much I liked the soundscape before, hey, peacock, maybe. Yeah, it's a peacock. It's getting a little bit overwhelming in places where there's just like kind of a torrent of sound. Mainly I think that's the wind, more so than the water or anything else, but it's kind of, it would be nice if there were some areas on the sim that were kind of not sound intensive, that were just kind of quiet, and maybe there are areas like that, but so far it seems to me like it's just been a constant assault of sound. Yeah, so like I was saying, the highlight of the sim is definitely the petting zoo. How nice. Is definitely the landscaping and the terrain. Just really an impressive job. Wow, that's cool. Like a ski slope gondola type thing. I mean, this is a lot of work. It's hard to really express to someone who's never done terraforming in Second Life exactly how much work it takes to get an amazing level of terrain complexity that works with all of the buildings and structures and little zones and stuff. But it is a tremendous amount of work. Yeah, I can sort of fly again, maybe. Alright, I'm gonna have to turn that off permanently because it's just really starting to irk me. Okay, music, mute. I think that will do the trick. Hopefully I don't have to worry about that again. Sometimes they use ambient sounds instead of music, in which case you have to turn off a bunch of things. So I'm just trying to save myself a little bit of time here and fly up the slope. Yeah, that's great. I mean, this is really a fine attention to detail here. And I'm really impressed when I see this kind of thing. I mean, it's probably like an aftermarket, maybe, that the person bought on the marketplace and then installed, but still, just to be able to integrate all these things together is really impressive. Great, I can't fly again. I'm gonna have to remember not to stop flying when I get into a fly zone in the future. So what I want to check out now is that tower over there. It's pretty much been like beckoning to me ever since I landed on this sim, because it's really, well, it's kind of fantastical and it doesn't really seem to fit anywhere else. I'm just gonna try to save some time and teleport over there, if it'll even let me do that. And yay, now I can fly again. Alright. Fly up to this tower. Now there's probably a legit way to like get in here, but just to save some time. Ah, damn it, I unflied myself. Okay, yeah, sorry if the documentary is a little bit scatterbrained. This is just kind of my thought process, my stream of consciousness. So this is really cool. I mean, I'm really digging this tower. Like, normally towers like this are really kind of poorly done, and I don't really know how to describe it exactly, but they just give off a really amateurish sort of vibe. But this one is really well done. I mean, I'm just like impressed with the texturing job and the layering and stuff. It's a really beautiful flower sculpt there, the globe floating over it. I don't know, that's just really, really cool looking. Yeah, this is basically the reason that I stay in Second Life, aside from the fact that it makes you like a god and you're able to create anything you can imagine. Just like, I mean, this may sound kind of tacky, or not tacky, like woo-woo or whatever, but there are times when I'm actually going through a sim like this and I get like chills, because it's just like, it's awe-inspiring, you know? You can't see stuff like this in real life. Like, structures like this would not be possible to engineer in real life without some kind of like trickery, because, you know, gravity and physics and thermodynamics and stuff would all basically preclude the kind of architecture that you see on a sim like this in a virtual world. I mean, it's fucking magical is what it comes down to. So I'm like doubly impressed that I can climb all the way up to the top of this thing, because a lot of times a sim will be sort of like half-assed, and a structure like this would be like half done. You can only go up to like 1 or 2 floors, like the ladders wouldn't work. This is just like, this is really cool. It's like a, like I made that video ages ago, the layer cake porno, which was like all about how a layered structure can be done poorly, and this is kind of the opposite. This is sort of an example of how a layered structure can be done right. Like, I just don't know what to expect. I'm going up like each floor. I think I'm finally at the top. Cool. This is like the very top. And you can see like a lot of planning was put into this, because like I come up here and I'm at the top and I'm like in the heart of the Aurora Borealis. So I'm getting like the maximum effect of just this fantastic total planning design. And then there's this amazing dome and fountain. And you know, if you play like a professionally produced video game, yeah, sure, the artifacts, the props, the scenes, all that stuff is gonna maybe have a little more polish and maybe have just a bit more I don't know, I kind of want to call it professionalism, even though that's not really the right word, but it'll have to do as a placeholder. Like, yeah, you might have a little bit more of a polish and an impact from those kind of things because they're professionally produced. But if you take a look at this and you think that like some person who probably is not like a professional or doesn't work for an AAA title video game producer like created all this stuff and composed all this stuff, because yeah, they probably didn't create everything in here, obviously that's like kind of foregone, but you just kind of got to be impressed. Once again, it's like a testament to human potential and creativity. Yeah, so overall I'd have to say that my impression, well, I would like to be able to jump, that would be nice. Flying is turned off, so I'm going to try to teleport out of this area because I don't like having to walk everywhere. Yeah, so overall my impression of this sim is fairly favorable. And that's not incredibly common. And that comes with the sort of the caveat that a lot of these scenes, like little vignettes and stuff, are kind of prefabs that are basically just modular and plug and play and stuff. Yeah, here's the entrance to the Winter Tower. Just totally fantastic. I really hope the sim owner built that entire thing themselves, because that would be truly impressive, because it's really the most original structure on the entire sim. Yeah, so A++ would visit again. Good job. Let's see who made this sim. I haven't even checked the okay. Angel Dunner, Natasha Valeric. Good job. Good job. 3 years, 4 months. Keep up the good work.